Okay. I think everything is working. I've had to do this several times now. I recorded an entire tutorial and then it didn't record any of it. So now I'm doing it again. But that's okay because now I know what I'm doing a little bit more. I was definitely stuttering on my words last time. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking. I'm just yapping. You're gonna get a yap sesh about Genshin because you can. No! I'm the butterfly. It's kind of... No, I missed the fucking butter. I'm gonna fucking cry. Oh my god. Anyways, okay. That's fine. Okay, so I'm in Fontaine right now because this is a place that you're gonna see a lot because your character that you really like right now, she is a Fontaine character. So this region will be your new home. Congratulations. That's fine. I say that's fine because personally this region is my favorite. Literally my entire party is from Fontaine. So I'm a little bit biased, but that's fine. It's really pretty. I won't show you much of it because I kind of want you to see it for yourself. I think the best part about Genshin is seeing the sights for like the first time. So yeah, I'll just get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna show up to your character menu. Here we are. This should look vaguely familiar to you now. Like you've seen this a little bit. But this menu is very important for your stats, as you can see. Like this is where health points are, your attack, your defense, the EM. And your max stamina is there. I don't know. Detail menu, so you can, get more advanced stats and whatnot. Stats for nerds, if you will. This will become more relevant later on. I wouldn't worry about it much right now, but it does exist. I think this thing right here, Elemental Mastery, is probably good for you to focus on right now. It'll boost your elemental reactions, which will do a lot of damage, because right now, let's be honest, your physical damage is probably jack shit, and that's okay, because you're just starting out. Nobody's expecting you to hit big numbers with your little tiny, like, level 20, 4 stars. Nobody expects greatness from that, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. In fact, I don't even think most 5 stars don't even focus much on their physical damage. Like, Arlecchino here, she's mostly all about her pyro damage numbers. So it's like, yeah, all about those elemental reactions, baby. Okay, so I scroll all over here. This, you're familiar with this. Pretty familiar with this, right? Yeah. This is Chevreuse, as you know. I will be guiding you over her today, I guess. This is your all-inclusive Chevreuse guide. Sort of. I won't be covering quite a few things, but that's fine. I don't want to overwhelm you right now. Okay, so everything here is the same across literally every character you see follows this standard format, right? Like they've got everything over here. This is her Ascension Materials preview. This stuff is pretty important. This is her world boss. You're gonna need to kill this thing a shit ton. You need 2 of them then, you need 4 of them there, you need 8 of them there, you need 12 of them there, and then finally you need 20. So in total you need 48 of these little horns. So you need to kill the boss a few times, because I think the boss only drops 2 or 3 horns. And it only drops 3 if it's feeling lucky. Like if it's feeling generous, it drops 3. Most of the time it only drops 2. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. It'll be really annoying, but it'll be fine. And then these things are the flowers that she takes. Only in Fontaine. You can only find them in Fontaine. They don't exist anywhere else, which is why it's so important that you get to Fontaine immediately. Just put the story on pause and then just run all the way to Fontaine. I don't care what you think. Oh, no, it's too far. I don't care. You have to get your ass to Fontaine, and I will help you if you get to AR-16. We can do it together. I think that would be kind of fun, actually. I did that with my cousin once. We hopped on, And I was like, oh my god, let's go to Fontaine. And she was like, what the fuck is that? And I said, oh my god, girl, let me show you. So that's what we did. I took her to Fontaine, and it was great. And we never played Genshin together again, but it's fine. And then so these are the enemy drops. Essential for a character, because not only does she need it to ascend her levels, she also needs it down here in her talent menu, because required to upgrade, you'll see that the little gears are also here too. So you need a shit ton of gears for her. But that's fine, because gears aren't that hard to come. Like, look, I have 777 gears. That is a lot of gears, and I mean, I've just got that from just existing and fucking around in Fontaine, right? Granted, I've 100%ed Fontaine, so I'm a little bit more on the extreme side when it comes to Fontaine, but that's fine. I accept that I am insane when it comes to Fontaine, so, you know, whatever. And I think you know how to level them now. Like, you go here, auto add doesn't really matter, and then, you know, you add here. And, like, each, in the guide, I did say, like, how much they gave you, but you can also see it here. It gives 20,000. This is the main way you level up in this game. I mean, you can, like, level up the natural way and, like, slowly open chests and, like, kill enemies, because those will give you character XP, but not a lot. Like, it's very clear that the game wants you to use these books instead of actually doing it the way you would in a typical game, which is, like, defeating bosses and shit like that. That's not how it works in this game. And that's fine, because it's a gacha game, and gacha games run a little differently because they strive off of wanting all of your time and money. So that's great. They're a business. Here's the weapon menu. I believe you are familiar with this to some degree. You switch them out here, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what weapon is best for Chevreuse. Because here you'll see the base attack, and then this is like their sub main like stat, which I think I talked about a little bit in the guide as well. But yeah, so like she has Dragon's Bane equipped right now, and its base attack is 41, and its sub thingy or whatever is Elemental Mastery. So actually, if you do pull a Dragon's Bane, it might be nice to use it, but still I feel like the Black Tassel will be your best bet, because it does use HP as its main substat, and health points are crucial.
Did you get a new debit card or something?
Yeah, I did get a new debit card. Thank you. Okay, well, minor interruption there, that's fine. I did get a new debit card because mine expired. It will expire in July, so that's nice. Anyways, this is the Black Tassel. Health points as your main substat or whatever. It's pretty nice. Also, I think the Black Tassel is nice because if you go to this enhance menu and you go down to refine here, like, it's so easy to get it to this 5th level here. Like, even if I were to go down to like this one's like refinement, it's rank 1, level 1, whatever. If I go down here to refine, I probably have, I only have one. I only have one. Okay, well, not a good example. I think it's because you only get these by opening chests. Like, you can't get them through the wish menu, but, you know, that's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, so you want to refine them because, you know, it increases this little bottom thing. I guess for the Black Tassel, it's not that important because increases damage against slimes. When the fuck are you fighting slimes? I mean, there's a lot of slimes in the beginning, but later on in the game, slimes are just like, they're like little pebbles you crush underneath your feet. Like, they're really not, it's not something that really matters at all. But it's mostly this health point thing right here that really matters. And so enhancing weapons is pretty much the same as character leveling, except it's the materials it uses. It doesn't require those little books. It requires other weapons that you can use, and these little like crystal like thingies, which I do talk about a little bit in the guide as well, I believe. And yeah, you'll get a lot of these little crystals. I think like the battle pass gives you some of them. Quests will give you them. Events give you these crystals. Like, you rack up a lot of them. As you can see, I have 1,700 of these big 3-star crystals, which you'll find you'll probably end up using a lot. But yeah, it's not that complicated. Details, I never open this menu. I don't know. It's there to show you the details. Kind of boring though, if you ask me, so I don't bother with it ever. Weapons do have ascension ranks. I don't know if there's a way to see the ascension ranks. Okay, yeah, ascension materials preview. So instead of world bosses like characters have, like this is the equivalent of the unicorn horn for Chevreuse. You have to go to domains for these, and if you just click on this down here, it should take you right to where the domain is on your map. So like this domain it's pretty close to where you are. Like this is Dragonspine. This is the place that I was telling you about earlier. And then like I think you're like somewhere over here. The domain's over here. It's really not that far. And again, if you somehow don't get to it before AR16, I'll show you all these places. Like it's not that hard. But yeah, so, and you'll notice here it also says that you can only farm it on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That is the unfortunate part about domains, is that oftentimes they are locked behind certain days, but the weekend is normally always a free-for-all. Like everything is free on the weekends, is there on the weekends, because most players are playing on the weekend, right? Everyone's home from work. They can get on their little gacha game and they can grind for materials. These are the enemy drops. I hate getting these fragile bone shards. They're so fucking annoying. They're like these little like monsters that are all over Leeway. Yeah, you can see here they're dropped by Geo Vishaps and like all these different Vishaps and whatnot. And like the game, so if you click on it, it should tell, it'll give you the location of one. So it's not like that complicated to farm for them. If you want help, I can also help you when we end up doing co-op or whatever. Oh, and there's also this Stardust exchange option. So like when you wish, you get these little like thingies here and you can like exchange them for materials as well as like a bunch of other stuff. So that's cool. Oh, and you also get Star Glitter too when you wish, which is like a fancier form. And you only get these when you get like duplicate characters and whatnot. And yeah, you can exchange them for fates or for these crowns. These are crucial for leveling your characters. You only get a few of these crowns in the game, so spend them wisely. But it essentially, you'll hear people talk about crowning their characters, and essentially what that is they're maxing their talent levels by using these little crowns as like this material. Anyways, it's kind of cool, but also annoying because you don't get a lot of crowns in the game. Like I think I only have like 10 in my inventory, and I've used like 3, and I've been playing for a long time, so I feel like that should put things into perspective. You can also exchange them for characters as well. It does take a while to get to this number if you're not saving, if you're always spending them and whatnot, and if you hardly ever wish. So it is kind of annoying. I've never personally bought these before because I always spend them on the fates, but you can do whatever you want. There's all these things that you can get in there and whatnot, so that's kind of cool. And then there's these, which are also, so for weapons you need two enemies you need to kill. It's kind of annoying, but it is the way it is, I guess. So these are dropped by hilichurls. You should have a shit ton of these. I mean, they're not that hard to find. Hilichurls are literally everywhere. Not that hard. So that's the black tassel, which you'll probably put on Chevreuse. I currently have one on Thoma. I might switch that out. I don't know. I do have a bunch of black tassels. They're just on, because black tassel is the recommended base option for so many characters. Oh my god. It's like a standard, honestly, in Genshin to just put the black tassel on any polearm user you have. So, that's good for future reference. If you're ever not sure what weapon you should put on your polearm user, give them the black tassel. It's like the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers, but for polearms. So that's cool. Artifact menu. I don't want to get into artifacts right now. All you need to know is that artifacts are the bread and butter of making your character stronger. So up here they have this nice artifact recommendations menu where it'll tell you basically everything you need, for your character. So each artifact has different main stats and different substats, and there's 5 different types. These are your flowers. They will always be health point focused. Their main stat is always health points. These are your feathers, always focused. They're always attack. Their main focus, their main stat or whatever is always your base attack. These are your sands. Your sands will have different main. Oh, these are all health points. Okay. They'll have different. Like you can see that's energy recharge, health points, attack, elemental mastery. And I think the game auto sorts them for you. Like it'll put this first one here as your most recommended one, I believe. So like right now, all of these are health points because it really wants you to know that health points are the main stat that you should put on this character. And you'll see here in artifact recommendations that this HP percentage should be at the top of this recommended main stat. So that's very important. Very, very important. And then minor, I wouldn't worry about your substats right now because it's not something that you really have the privilege of focusing on right now because you can't farm for artifacts. This is really something to worry about once you reach AR 45, and I mean I can tell you about that if you ever get there. But yeah, so for right now, just focus on your main stats. Keep these in mind, but don't worry if you have like a main health point sands, health percentage sands, but its substats are like all like none of these are there, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Even if it's base health points, or if it's like percentage would be cool, but even the base works. Like it really doesn't matter, and it's it's there to help your character, man. So please use good artifacts, or at least the best artifacts that you can. And these are your goblets. Goblets, the same thing as your sands, different main stats, different substats. It'll recommend based on what your character needs or whatever. Goblets do have these damage bonuses. I think they're the only thing that have these, I believe. So like some characters like Arlecchino, pyro damage bonus because they're a main DPS unit. So you want their elemental bonus, to be bigger, right? So she has a pyro damage bonus. And if you want to use Chevrus as a DPS, I'm sure you can build her for that. And if you were to build her like that, I would probably recommend putting a pyro damage bonus goblet on her if you can. But I think she does scale off of health points. So health points ultimately will be your best friend because her damage should greatly increase with health points. And then this last one here is the circlet. Circlet, same exact thing as the other two. In this specific case, they really want health points on Chevrus, which is actually great for you. Because health points they're easy to get. Like it's easy to get health point percentages. It's easy to get health points in your substats. It's not that hard to build this character, which is great for you in early game. So that, yay, wow, so easy. Just make sure just slap a bunch of health points on her, but don't get too blinded by health points. That's the thing. The game, it'll heavily encourage health points, that you'll lose other stats that are also important to your character. So like she also likes energy recharge, and energy recharge, what it does is it helps your burst. So the more energy recharge you have, the higher or I guess the your burst shows up faster. I get like you can use it sooner because it charges up sooner, right? Instead of having to take 5 million years to use your burst, if you have more energy recharge, your burst it'll show like it'll take less time for it to fill up, I guess, if that makes sense. And then crit damage and crit rate are like also super important. Like you always want these two things, always, for like any character ever. You always want to be focused on crit damage and crit rate. That these are like the bread and butter of like everything. I think Chevrus, she can heal your team, so there is a healing bonus option for you, but you have Barbara as your healer, so I don't worry about healing. That you don't have to worry about healing for Chevrus. That's basically it for artifacts. I wouldn't be focused too much on these things, but oh yeah, I forgot how to level. So to level them up, you just go to enhance, and then it's the same thing. I would only use 2-star and under materials for you, because you don't want to waste your 3 or 4 star materials, and you don't get 5 stars until like late in the game. So please don't worry about that. Please just only use 2-star materials and under, and enhance, and slowly level your artifacts up. But yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. Details menu, not that important. But however, so you'll notice that these artifacts look different, and that's because they're from different sets. Like you can see here, Crimson Witch of Flames. If you have 2 equipped, you get, set bonuses, right? Which, don't worry about that. You don't really, again, you don't have the privilege of worrying about that right now, because right now, most of the artifacts you're getting are going to be these. You're going to get a lot of adventure set, which is fine. I would recommend, putting this Traveling Doctor set on Barbara, because it increases healing by 20, and then Elemental Burst restores 20 health points. So, this is going to be really, really nice on Barbara. So if you could equip this on Barbara, that would be awesome. Later, you're going to see some instructor and exile pieces as well a lot. These will be really great when you do get them. I think that instructor, this set probably on Chevreuse would be nice, because it does increase your EM and your elemental reaction. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you'd probably be fine using any of these, but probably this one, just because it has EM. I don't know. Whatever set ends up working for you, but again, I wouldn't really worry about the sets that much, because they're not going to do much for you. It's more important that your main stats are good rather than your set right now. So yeah, don't worry about that. Down here, constellations. Essentially, the rundown is it's a gacha game, so the more copies of the character you get, the you can level them up here. It increases your talents and your fighting ability, I guess, if you will. It does give you a lot of benefits, if you will. But again, I mean, if you're rich, yeah, sure, go get C6 of all your characters, but I don't think you have the money for that, and quite frankly, I wouldn't even recommend it if you did. So don't really worry about constellations. It's never likely that you're going to get a C6 of any character. I don't even have C6 of a lot of 4 stars. If you go through, you'll see a lot of these 4 stars. She's almost at C6, but I mean, it's been years, right? A lot of these barely have a few. So, I wouldn't worry too much about it. And then talents menu. So this is going to be super important too. I would focus more on your weapons and character leveling, but also your talents. I'd say in the level of which you should be concerned: character level, weapons, and then talents. And so every character has different talents that in different orders that you need to upgrade them. So if I go up here, talent upgrade reference, it tells you which one is your first priority. So in her case, her elemental skill is her biggest priority that you're going to want to level up. And leveling up, you need these gears that I was telling you about before, and you need these things that you can only get at domains. These are your talent books, and talent book you can only find in domains, just like your character leveling materials or whatever, and they're only around on certain days. And again, if you click on it, it'll take you to the domain. And as you can see, this domain is in Fontaine, because as I said, all of her materials will be in Fontaine, so you gotta really haul your ass on over to Fontaine. So have fun with that. These are, as I said, normal attack, elemental attack, burst attack, and then there's these 3 things, which are passive talents, which are, I mean, they're benefits to a character. You can read these if you want. I don't know. Each character has their own special little talents here and whatnot. Kind of cool. And then this is their profile menu. It just gives you a bunch of added information on the character themselves, her birthday, her voice actor, where she works. She's a security officer in Fontaine. Her vision, so this is her element. She's pyro. Her constellation name, and then little summary. And this is story details that you unlock through friendship levels, which friendship levels are really annoying to get in the beginning, but essentially the way you increase your friendship level is through defeating bosses and collecting the boss rewards and whatnot, and domains. Domains will give you a lot as well. And also the teapot, but don't worry about the teapot, because the teapot you don't unlock until like AR 25 or something. You go to Leeway, you talk to this grandma, and this grandma is like this god or whatever, and she gives you this magical teapot that essentially unlocks this like Sims like customs, like, you know, you can basically decorate a house essentially inside this magical teapot. I don't know, it's like a genie lamp, but there's no genie and there's no lamp, and it's a pot, and when you go inside of it, it basically there's a house and you can customize that. Anyways, it offers rewards, so it's nice to get once you do unlock it. I can show you the teapot some other time, but right now we're focused on Chevreuse, so I'll do that later if you really want me to. I'll make as many guides as you want me to, but anyways, so yeah, this is essentially it from the character menu. I can show you where to get like her character level up, like materials. So like you'll see here on the map, if I move a little bit, the map over here, there's this little like hand. And if you have like characters like Lynette in your party, Lynette has this really nice talent here where hold on, I think maybe it's not Lynette that has it. Wait, maybe it's Lenny. Okay, so characters like Lenny have this nice thing where it displays the location of nearby resources unique to Fontaine on the mini map. So like when you have characters like with this talent, this little hand shows up on your mini map, and it tells you where like the Fontaine regionally like special things are. So in this case, these are rainbow roses. Rainbow roses are important to level up character. I think Lenny took rainbow roses, and I think Arlecchino also, yeah, she also took rainbow roses. Like some characters will take them, some won't. Yours doesn't, so obviously you don't have to worry about rainbow roses. You have to worry about the little bells, which I will show you where the bells are if I run all the way over there. Here, I'm going to demo Lynette a little bit. Oh, okay, hold on. Before the bells, I'll show you this thing. So this thing is how you get those little mechanical parts. So you're going to want to fight these guys. They're not that hard to kill. Probably a little harder to kill than that for you because your character isn't as leveled as mine, but you know, that's fine. So yeah, as you can see, it dropped these little gears. So you're going to want to collect a shit ton of those to level up your Chevreuse, but you know, that's fine. It's kind of soothing to kill them. They're literally everywhere in Fontaine. Like, it's not hard to find them, as I said. You'll kill a whole bunch. It's really not that hard. So hold on, let me find some bells. I know that they're over here. As you can see, the mini map has spotted something, and would you look at that? It's the bells. Oh my god. Wow. So these are the thing that you need to level up your Chevreuse. And the good thing about these bells is there's 3 of them per plant. So you can collect more. It's really nice. It's really convenient. And yeah, it takes 3 real life days for those things to respawn, by the way. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, but again, it is what it is, and you'll be fine. I believe in you. If I go over here, I think I don't know if I showed you this or not, but this is where that unicorn boss is, that you're gonna need to kill a shit ton for Chevreuse. It's not really that difficult, truly, but you know, I don't know. It is an annoying boss because it has an electro element, so you know, so you're gonna want to fly down here once you know, get to the boss. It's underwater, so you need to swim underwater, go to this little cave, and it'll be in there. This is it, the unicorn in all its glory. It's a little bitch. I'm not gonna fight it for you because this video is already so fucking long. But yeah, the gist of it is unicorn boss. Yay, you gotta kill it. And it's all the way over here, all the way over there. So you have to go from here all the way through Chenyu Vale and get to Fontaine so you can get up here and do all that. But don't worry, I'll run to Fontaine with you. as I've said, I believe, once you get to AR-16. So, you know, that'll be fun. I'm going to teleport out of here because personally I don't want to get slaughtered by the unicorn while I am giving this tutorial. But yeah, I think that is mostly it. These are what domains look like. If I go to it, you'll see that, so like this domain has these things, which as you can see are weapon ascension materials. So like to level up certain weapons, you need to come here and grab their like materials and shit. So, you know, yeah, each domain is different. Some domains are levels, so you can go and collect rewards. And if you want to know what a domain is, if you go to it, click on it, and go down here, it'll tell you what it gives you and like all of its rewards previews. So like that, you know, that's kind of cool, right? Yeah. And you know, some domains are different. So like this one, talent domain. This one is called a world boss, and you can only fight them once a week. Yeah, as you can see, everyone comes to claim treasure one, and it resets every week. So, you know, that's cool. That's cool. But I think that's it. If I forgot anything, I'll let you know. But this video, again, this is already 31 minutes long, so I'm so sorry I did not realize that it was this long. I apologize. But you know, yay. your all-inclusive Chever's guide has been completed. I wish you luck in getting to AR-16, and that this game doesn't end up boring you to death, because that would make me sad. So goodbye for now, I guess.